What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours.
You're muting.
Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Here we are. Wow. Here we are. We made it, Shady Groove. We made it to the show.
I'm currently in a 5-minute mute box penalty. Sorry. I'm going to
enable that now, Yeti. Thank you. I was 6'7". I was the 67th one to like it, Shady Groove. 6'7".
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. All right, guys, welcome to the show. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. We got a lot to cover today because President Trump is doing a lot. But he had an MRI, and you should be... The guy never sleeps, Shady Groove.
I mean, you would think that maybe that to some degree that somebody would be appreciative of a man that works so hard that he never sleeps for you. But no, they
got an MRI.
OJ, they're trying to slow him down is what they're doing. They're like, we are young and we can't keep up with the 80-year-old. That's what they're saying.
I mean, wow. And we can barely keep up with them too, Shady. I mean, my God.
Don't admit that. Yeah, don't say that to them.
No,
we have to make this look easy every day.
Also, I'd like to announce that there's new Arctic frost documents. It's pretty interesting. I want to, and Dan Scavino actually posted it on Facebook. New Arctic frost documents reveal even further wide-ranging investigation by Biden's DOJ to take down President Trump and his supporters. Highlights Arctic frost investigators utilize FBI field offices. Okay, remember Wray when Q asked us why is he traveling to all the FBI field offices?
Yes, sir.
From across the country to conduct this investigation. Arctic frost investigators requested $16,600 to travel to conduct more than 40 interviews. Okay. Then you've got this here. 45 individuals, including Steve Bannon, Scott Perry, Rudolph Giuliani, Jeffrey Clark, John Eastman, and Mark Meadows were potentially under investigation. Another 111 individuals, including Peter Navarro, Dan Scavino, Jeff Rosen, and Ed Martin, were also potentially under investigation. There's somebody missing here, Shady, from this list. Who?
You mean somebody?
Let's ask the chat who's missing.
Who is missing from that list? You would think that if you were doing a thorough investigation, you were going to get all of Trump's people, that you would get someone else.
You mean not the ones that they fired in 23 days?
Yeah, not them.
Well, maybe that one was cooperating. Who's the one that sat 16 times in front of Mueller? I'll give you 3 stars in general if you can figure it out, guys.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Wow. Okay. Wow. All right. So there's that. We're going to go over that today. But our President Donald J. Trump, was really busy while you were sleeping. I tell you, it really is hard to keep up. But I was watching last night when President Trump delivered the keynote remarks at APEC's APEC, Asia Pacific, blah, 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 executive something. It's the CEO luncheon for APEC. And it's a summit addressed by an APEC economic leader, Donald J. Trump. Now, they're calling him an economic leader. You know, he is getting crowns in Japan or Korea, Shady. He's getting a crown. No kings. He got a crown. How come the rest of the world likes Donald Trump, but our news media and people here have no frickin' clue what good this man is doing for the United States of America?
Okay. Let's just take a second and look at the dynamic of what they were trying to set up. Remember the No Kings rally. What were they doing? What was the bet that they made? What bet did they make with this shutdown? Because think about the timing. Shutdown, and then 3 weeks later, the No Kings rally before we are, a couple of weeks ago. So just think about it. Clearly, what were they doing? They knew Donald Trump was getting ready to go to Asia. They knew he was going to go to Asia to be making deals. They also knew the way that the foreign governments around the world were going to treat him like a breath of fresh air. Like, oh my God, America is different now. America is not these slumpy old neocons sitting in the corner trying to murder everybody with their military contracts. America is all of a sudden a person that's representing the American people that have no desire to conquer the world. Oh my God, let's roll out the red carpet and let's treat him like a king. They knew that this is what was going to go down. So this is the way that they were trying to weaken him. And that's also why fake MAGA has been amplifying the Epstein/Israel nonsense ad nauseum in tandem with them, guys. Think about what they're trying to do. They're trying to do everything. They're pulling. This is called, quote unquote, pulling out all the stops, I think, sir.
It really is. And, you know, what you see your president doing is actually so amazing. Most people that don't understand economy have no clue. If you just only understand about social justice, you're losing. You're going to be left behind, okay?
Not golden age.
This is the golden age. So the no kings, your President Trump just got crowned. But what he's doing, he's icing out China. He's getting mineral deals with everybody else, okay? He's put China in such a bad predicament, Shady Groove.
Very bad predicament.
And he's meeting with them this week as well. Now, a lot of people need to understand you just got another couple $1 trillion worth of investments, guys. I mean, I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. Now, me understanding, economics a little bit, as well, he's bringing home the bacon, guys. Yes. Japan is investing $500 billion in Made in America, guys. Toyota, $10 billion on American plants, rare earth minerals and cars and fighter jets, cherry trees and fireworks for the 4th of July, Nobel Peace Prize nominations just to sweeten the deal. And the whole world is striking deals with your president, Donald J. Trump. The only person not striking a deal is Schumer, guys.
Democrats. And that not only will they not strike a deal, they're acting like he's the one that won't deal. He's already made the negotiation. It's a clean CR. They have never done this. I want to make sure people realize this. The Democrats have never balked on a clean CR like this. This is not how they normally shut down government. This is completely different. And also what Jeff was just saying, 20 trillion, guys. I want to make that very clear. We are almost to $20 trillion of foreign countries investing in the American worker. I want you to be clear whenever you speak this to people that you know. They are investing $20 trillion in the American worker, not into Donald Trump's pocketbook. Effectively, you're talking about in 9 months, 50% of the national debt he has brought back in investment. Investment is just a $1. That's an investment. Every investment that comes in will amplify at least 10x, probably 100x. So you could be possibly talking about 200 trillion in investment productivity over the next 20 years.
Yeah. Wow.
That's insane. That pays off the national debt 100 times. All of a sudden, none of us owe anything. You want to talk about how Democrats are going to vote for Kamala Harris whenever they've had their debt eradicated in the last couple of years?
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Wow. Real quick, Iron Eagle, we've got some massive booms today. We sure do. Patriot Sparky, I support booms as well. Thank you, Patriot Sparky. Philly Bud Mama, I love my MG family. Thank you, Ducks, and thank you, Cram, for the subscriptions as well. We got Mikey Mariano clothed. Thank goodness, guys.
What? Whoa.
He got his red castle.
I'm so glad that I was talking.
Man, good thing I didn't show you the chat earlier.
Don't keep those pictures.
Yeah. Yeah. Brensno, go listen. We've listened to those. We have our own show as well. So welcome, Brenzo. I appreciate that. But we're going to go ahead and talk Japan before we get to South Korea because so much is happening. We didn't get to Japan yet, really, Shady.
Because yesterday we were covering all the stuff that had happened from the day before. So we apparently weren't running about a 22-hour delay.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And, you know, Brenso, just so you know, there is a Q post about prophecies and prophets. You know, I understand where you're coming from. Praise God. God wins in the end, no matter what. And thank you very much for that. So this is Japan treats Trump like a king, Shady Grove. Are you ready? So Jesse broke it down very well. I watched this and was very impressed. Here you go. All right.
Trump was treated like a king, even though he's not. The Japanese...
Or is he? No kings.
I mean,
lit up skyscrapers with red, white, and blue, and then surprised them with big, beautiful gifts.
We will extend a gift of 250 cherry trees to Washington, D.C. In addition, I understand that fireworks from Japan, from Akita Prefecture, will be shown in Washington, D.C. on July 4th next year.
Cherry trees and 4th of July fireworks. Now we're talking. The president felt right at home. Before talking shop, the new prime minister said, Mr. President, want to watch the World Series? Trump said, I thought you'd never ask. And she was rooting for the right team.
The thing went like 18
Japan
innings.
Loves the Dodgers.
They were late.
Connie. The two were having such a good time that they showed up late to their meeting.
To the press corps, I'm very sorry that we kept waiting. As a matter of fact, Mr. President and I myself just enjoyed watching the Major League Baseball match. Actually, Dodgers versus Blue Jays. And Dodgers is now having a 1-point lead, and we really enjoyed the match.
But there was something or someone missing. Shinzo, may God rest his soul, assassinated in cold blood. His widow was there and gave our president a portrait that said peace. But you know what Shinzo really would have wanted? For Trump to have played a round of golf on one of Japan's big, beautiful championship courses. Indeed, there was a very special gift, Shinzo's favorite putter. Senior club champion Donald J. Trump was touched.
She was a very good friend and ally of Shinzo Abe, who is a friend of mine, one of my best friends in terms of this world, the world of nations.
This girl's not bad. You know what's even nicer than Shinzo's putter? The Nobel. And yep, Japan's nominated Trump. Wow. 80 years ago, we were dropping atomic bombs on them, and now they're nominating us for the Nobel. In Japanese culture, gift giving is key. Takaichi even gave him a hat that said, Japan is back. And the president signed it with the same Sharpie he used on the minerals deal. More on that in a minute. The prime minister packed a bunch of Japanese tycoons into a room and they all talked business and a little golf.
I think Masa is here. Where's Masa? I played golf with this guy last week. He sank every putt. We won the tournament. Oh, we didn't cheat either. You know, a lot of those teams cheated because I know how they play, and they did not shoot those scores. We had a great time, and you played great, and you putted very well, and I appreciate it because I now have an extra trophy on my desk, and I like that.
Trump loves doing business with the Japanese, loves it. They bought up a whole fleet of Ford F-150 trucks and put them on the palace grounds. And then the prime minister whispered the T word.
I was just told by the prime minister that Toyota is going to be putting auto plants all over the United States to the tune of over $10 billion.
Hear that? Cha-ching. But that's not all. We signed a big minerals deal, rare earths for cars, fighter jets, plus $500 billion in investments made in America. You know who's not happy? China. Suddenly, business isn't booming in Beijing, and the land of the rising sun is shining on God's country, the good old USA.
I have always had a great love of Japan and a great respect of Japan. And I will say that this will be a relationship that will be stronger than ever before. We are an ally at the strongest level.
We have bases all over Japan, and Teflon Don made quite the entrance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Real quick, I just want to mention this. Piper Low 7 says, oh my golly, a little delayed. Just started the show. My daughter, Legend, loves you, Matrix, for saying 6'7".
6'7".
Tell your daughter hello, Piper Low. Thank you so much. God bless you.
You gotta be a bigger fan now.
Shady, you got to be ready to go. 6'7".
6'7".
This was absolutely epic, guys.
Trump and the Japanese prime minister were standing on U.S. aircraft carrier docked in Tokyo Bay. Xi Jinping's not going to like that. It's a powerful message.
This woman is a winner. So, we've become very close friends all of a sudden because their stock market today and our stock market today hit an all-time high. That means we're doing something right. But I have to say this, the first female prime minister in the history of Japan. Madam Prime Minister.
What kind of woman is this? Takaichi made her husband take her last name. Wow. We know who wears the pants there. But when Trump's around, it's like Tony Danza. Everyone knows who's the boss. The auto pen's out of ink, and 47's reminding the world.
Biden used to say he was a pilot. He was a pilot. He was a truck driver. Whoever walked in, he wasn't a pilot. Wasn't much of a president either, to be honest with you. That I can tell you. That we all know.
Biden was no pilot. He was on autopilot. The world walked all over him. And now they're all giving us minerals, jets, fireworks. But guess who doesn't like it? Lame duck Colbert.
Trump's next stop is Japan, where the hand can be used like a knife. He arrived today, but the new prime minister has a plan to win him over. She's going to gift him a gold golf ball. It is so sad to see how easy it is to butter up the president of the United States. Okay, quick. Trump's visiting. What do I give?
Man, I just like to say, just take a second to just witness what you're just witnessing right there. Your president is in a foreign nation being praised by a foreign country's elected leader. In other words, the leader of that country that the people of Japan elected. And now we've got our late night guys on there dismissing the significance. So all the people of Japan, that person represents. So effectively, if she hands Donald Trump something and gives him a gift, that's a gift from the people of Japan. The Japanese are some of the most kind-hearted, gift-giving human beings you will ever meet. This is their process. Maybe go watch The Karate Kid and you'll learn a little bit about their culture or who they are. But to have the late night media host in America basically besmirching, it's unreal what these people think they look like to the outside world when they go on TV in comparison to what they really look like if you're paying attention to what they're saying. That's all I have to say about that.
I mean, GFYS, Colbert.
I can't believe it, man.
All right.
I'm trying not to be offended, but oh my God.
This time, gold burger?
These aren't gifts for Trump. They're gifts for us. They're investing billions, building our bases, buying our rice. Think about it. Trump has gotten Japan to buy American rice. Never happened before. Trump's not being bribed with gold golf balls. He's worth billions. He's doing big business and everyone's making money. America first, obviously. Our stock market, all-time high, and world markets also hitting highs. The AI business is booming. America's hot. Globalism's over. Trump's creating brand new trade and security alliances that make America great and keep China at bay. And we're still doing deals with the Chinese. Trump even said, China's going to have to give a little and we'll have to give a little. You know the only guy who won't give a little? Schumer. Schumer's the only one in the world who won't do a deal with Trump. Trump did trade deals with, well, peace deals too, with Hamas, the Iranians, the EU, Zelensky, little rocket man. Trump's made more progress with Putin than he has with Schumer. Now Chuck's putting his party in big trouble because the largest union in the country is demanding Schumer reopen the government. Americans are starting to flood food banks.
This is my first time visiting a food bank in my entire life. I've never had the need to do so in the past, but times change, and I'm in a moment or in a place where this is where I'm at.
When Democrats lose the unions and government workers, the end is near. The unions and Wall Street both want to open the government.
If Republicans shut down the government next time Democrats are in charge to extract whatever it is that they happen to want, are you saying that's okay? Are you saying that's okay if they do that?
I mean, the Republicans have done this quite a while, yes. Yeah,
Republicans have done this a lot. What did you say about it when they did it?
I don't know, and I don't care.
What do Democrats care about? A ballroom.
They're paying contractors to tear down the East Wing, but they're not putting money into the food bank that they're setting on. So if there's a sense of frustration in America, it's very real.
Tampon suffering from a severe ballroom derangement syndrome. Gavin's jealous that he's not in Asia. Donald Trump's literally dancing in Asia while 40 million people lose access to food. Well, Gavin literally went to China.
Why can't they blame their own party, guys? It's you. You know, Shady, these people have approved this 13 times before. It's a typical thing to keep the government open, and they've done it 13 times before this, Shady. And now they're not doing it because what? Chuck Schumer's afraid of his foreign and domestic billionaire funding?
He's afraid of the communist part of the left-wing party. They've gone. That is where the funding is coming. So Arabella Advisors, foreign money. Okay, that's where the funding comes from. So that's where Schumer and the Democrat allegiance lies. The people that put on the No Kings rally. We've looked at the money. That's it. That's exactly where their allegiance is. It's with the money flow. If you're an elected person in America, more than anywhere else in the world, you're supposed to be representative and have your loyalties and be afraid of the people. The damn politicians are supposed to be afraid of us. They're supposed to think, oh, if I screw this up, they're going to elect somebody else. But none of the Democrat politicians think like that because they're handed their positions in government. They don't earn them. So just think about it like when you're a kid. When you get something you didn't earn, you don't respect it.
That's right. Hoya, thank you so much for the 5 Rumble subscriptions. Back to Jesse. Wow, I just can't believe these people, man.
They're not pro-America.
They killed 1 million Americans with a virus.
Oh, flip it. You didn't get it up.
Into a toboggan, trucked the kid on a basketball court, and marveled at birds like he's never seen anything with wings. Trump's not coming home empty-handed. He's bringing home the bacon. In 72 hours, he's gotten 5 deals. Malaysia, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, and Japan. And we could have a deal on Thursday with the Chinese. Of course he's dancing. Why wouldn't he be? Democrats are just mad the Schumer shutdown hasn't stopped Trump from winning. Trump's not asking for much. Just reopen the government, guys, so that people can eat. The Yang Gang's back and says the longer Chuck stalls, the hangrier they get.
If I'm the Dems, I'm like, look, we've taken a stand, but we're not going to let families starve. This is not the fight because you have millions and millions of Americans who are on the edge right now.
The longer this goes, the worse it gets.
Did you see the lady going, oh my God? These people need to understand that this president is probably the best president this country's ever seen, Shady.
Or maybe the best president we will ever see.
Yeah. Wow.
It's for him.
What we're seeing is the Republican brand has actually gotten better among independents, and it's also gotten better among Republicans as well. So again, what's the electoral reason that Republicans would give in at this point? This is, in fact, the worst position Democrats have been on in a generic ballot at this point in midterm when there was a Republican president in the last 20 years. And this is no different from pre-shutdown.
What have Democrats done since they shut down the government? Napa Valley wine retreat, corny TikTok videos, fume over a sombrero. Schumer's been shooting stand-ups outside of Epstein's mansion, while Trump's getting trade deals, peace deals, ballrooms, and cherry trees. It's almost like things are better when Democrats aren't working.
Ha! Good point.
We actually made that point this morning, didn't we?
Yeah. But what's not better is your government is closed, right? So, we do have empathy for, but the threats that these people are making, Shady, is crazy. About like lock your car. If my EBT comes, I'm stealing. They're all It's crazy, man.
And I think that's what we're going to live through. I honestly do. I honestly think that there is a reckoning coming. We are seeing that there's 40. This is if you guys want to know, Donald Trump works ahead of himself. So why did Donald Trump get $20 trillion worth of investment in America? So that people would need people to go to work. Why did he think that people were going to need people to go to work? Because he knew that there was a huge part of the workforce here that wasn't working, that was completely able to work. So there's 42 million people that are on government assistance for food. That number should be, in a functioning society, that number should be well under 10% of our society. 8%, 7% range would be optimal for a society that is actually not a socialist society where we're giving handouts to people that don't deserve it all the time. So these people are going to go through a period of time where they don't have any food. And then they're going to realize that, oh my God, I might want to pick up a newspaper and look for a job.
Yeah. And there's people saying that it's not the government's job to provide for them. No, that's why your president is out there getting things coming to America so you can get jobs, you dumbasses.
You look at you figuring it out.
Wow. So this is right here. This is he used to be a friend of ours. Now I'm blocked by him. It's not the government's job to provide for him. What's effed up is you're relying on the government to survive. My old dad is crying about it. I even told him quit crying, stupid. What? When you dumbass relies on this, if this is the way the MG and Anons are taking, you're all just as effed up in the head and enslaved as the left.
What?
The sheep will suffer. Maybe this guy has lost it, bro. I'm sorry.
I can't even read what you're saying. I didn't understand.
What he's saying is it's not the government's job to provide for them. Correct. Okay. We know that they're using Cloward and Piven. We understand that, but we got to get the jobs here, the factories here. That's what your president is doing. Look at the 40,000 foot view, not the slim little view that you have right now, bro.
Weird take.
It's a weird take, man. It's weird and it's wrong because what the MG show thinks is we understand economics. Do you, lawnmower boy?
It's obvious that someone doesn't.
Yeah. Now, take a step back, breathe, okay? Because you're a good person, and I'm addressing you right now. Your president is making almost $20 trillion, bringing it back to the country, to your country, to where there might be a farm or a factory or jobs surrounding that factory. Because for a factory, there's jobs surrounding that factory. There's lunch, there's cafes, there's people that buy houses, there's people that work in this factory can buy brooms from the broom factory over here. It's all economics, man. And if you don't understand economics, you have no voice in this conversation anymore, Shady. I'm tired of social justice BS. I'm tired of all of that. This is all about economics, guys. Q was all about economics, but the Anons twisted it and didn't understand it. A lot of those sayings, like speed and all that stuff, Shady, those are economic terms.
Agreed.
Okay? And, it's just amazing how stupid people have become, bro.
Well, because they are inundated with the necessity to rely on something other than themselves for sustenance.
Yeah. Yeah. And I pray for that guy because, he was a nice guy and I don't know where his head is at right now, but it's not, maybe
Well, I mean, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that I've noticed a lot of the times that people get wrapped up into things and then they work it out. So we can pray that you work this out, like untwist it, because you're obviously too deep inside of Twitter. You need to go touch grass.
Yeah, yeah, and you're either being willfully ignorant or you're just ignorant.
It's okay.
Yeah. Let me just see what I got here.
I mean that's.
Oh shoot, Shady, take it. I'll be right back.
Oh my goodness, that is.
Take it, please. Thank you.
Sign. I have no idea where I'm going to take this. So we were getting ready to talk. Jeff was getting ready to play you the events that happened in Japan, which I can obviously not play right now because he just stepped away from the computer. So what I will do is I will talk to all of you out there in a broad sense about a broad issue. And the broad issue is the idea of what you're seeing currently happening against our president. As he's doing what he's doing right now, I want you to understand the significance of this. And I want you to be able to connect it to what it is that you're seeing on TV. What they're doing on TV to Donald Trump on the Colbert Show and all these others is exactly the same thing that Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson is doing to Donald Trump. They're trying to weaken him. You've got to get the Alex Jones, General Flynn, the whole network. Q. Now I'm praying that you can see this as clear as day now. Why Q is so important to bring in the aspect to understand how the network works. It does not matter who the person is in the presidency. What matters is their ability to weaken him. The reason that they were afraid of Donald Trump is because they knew for a fact that they didn't have any real good way to weaken him so that he couldn't win. So what did they do? They created the whole Russia story. The whole internet was lit on fire, and all of these InfoWars network people assimilated in the background, then started to act like, oh, yeah, we are pro-Trump. Go along with it until now. And now they're starting to set their houses that they've built and their platforms on fire, like what Candace Owens has done, what you're seeing Tucker Carlson do. Think about this. Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes sitting and having that conversation.
My God.
Go listen to them. You're listening to two Nazis talk. So remember, Jeff, whenever they kept saying, the people on the left kept saying, you guys on the right are a bunch of Nazis. We were like, what the hell are you talking about? There's none of us. Now look around. Look around at the people that hate Jewish people. Okay? Why think about it, guys? You got to be able to use your logic. A globalist is a globalist. A globalist satanic bloodline is not a Jew. It's a globalist satanic bloodline. They are not differentiating. Q was sent here to help you differentiate so that when this moment came, you would be able to see, look how they've twisted it, guys. Yeah. Donald Trump is doing everything right. I'm sorry. I have tiny little criticisms. Like the main criticism, like, don't put memes of poop dropping on Americans. I can criticize that. I don't like that. It's okay. It was still funny, but I can criticize if I want to. I'm not being critical, not because I'm afraid of Donald Trump. I'm not being critical because Q said he was going to do some of these things, and he's doing like a lot more of them than I thought he was going to do.
Yeah. The world is watching, guys. And in fact, that's why I want to play this piece here. And, sorry about that. I just had to let somebody in the door for mom.
All good.
But I wanted to just, this keynote remark at the APEC CEO's luncheon is amazing, Shady. He did say the world is watching, okay? And he addressed everybody, and they all love him over there.
They do.
Why can't we get the same love over here? Why? Well, we know why. It's the mainstream media and these asshats on X, trying to minimize Donald Trump's accomplishments, man. Exactly. These accomplishments are for you, okay? Not him, you and this country. And again, when you have Toyota investing $10 billion in factories across the country, that means there's a lot more jobs than just the Toyota plant. There's all of this stuff like the people at the electric company. There's people that have shops open up for lunch breaks. There's so many jobs, guys. There's so many jobs that go in one plant that it's insane. And make America great again by making America work again and making America feel proud of making a product and making accomplishments. And, this is what needs to happen again, Shady.
I think it was 500 billion. I think you said 10, but I think it was
just Toyota. Toyota was only 10 billion.
Okay. Sorry. So
Japan in total was 500 billion.
In total was okay. Gotcha. So, but what you're saying is right, and it's not only that. It's not only about the pride in making something. Isn't it also the pride in actually like having abundance to raise your family? And the next thing you know, your child could go to college, and your child could get married and have a family.
And buy a house. Yeah.
That's generational wealth. I want you to understand, globalists are targeting your generational wealth. Kings and monarchies are targeting your generational wealth. The Federal Reserve and national banking system was literally created to attack and take your generational wealth. And now you have less than 10,000 independent family farms in America, when 100 years ago you had about 50 million.
You know, and I bring this story up, Shady Grove, is like I grew up in a small little area in Illinois, a little suburb, and in Geneva, Illinois, there was a place where a lot of my high school friends worked. They were machinists, and it was what was it called? Burgess North. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but they were able to buy a house in the country, buy a car, and have kids, and send their kids. And then guess what? They up and moved to China, okay? And they made parts for Harleys. This is the kind of stuff that we need to do. We need to bring it back here. It's very simple. It's not rocket science, guys.
And it's also like people don't understand the dynamic either, because you're talking about the goods and products in the normal economy, but there's also this whole layer of government contracts and weapon systems and Lockheed Martin and all of these other massive war machine companies. You know where they're buying all their stuff from to make their stupid crap? They're buying it from China. China's rare earth minerals are like, we've been buying rare earth minerals to build our military for like 20 years. That's where they've been coming from. Yeah. So, you think about that, like the people, the communists that want capitalism destroyed, the people that are funding the foreign billionaires and the communists are building our military.
Yeah. Yes. And we're buying their steel for our tanks. I mean, and we're buying our medicines from communist China that wants to hurt us, that gave us a virus. You see what President Trump is doing now, guys?
Oh, wait. Whoa, you're saying that, so if we purchase substandard steel from China and build our ship, then China's going to know that ship is not built out of standard steel and will know exactly where it's weaker and exactly how weak it is and exactly how easy it would be to destroy it. Much easier than it would be.
And don't forget, Shady, that I sold our technology to China so they could make our fighter jets computers.
Bill, whenever you come out of the closet to remind me of the dumb shit you did, it doesn't help.
All right, so we're going to watch this. This is pretty amazing. We're going to go through commercial break, guys, okay? We're going to not have a commercial break. This is President Trump. You got to listen to this. I was just in awe last night watching this up late. You ready?
Support the MG show. No commercial. Is that what you said?
No commercial. We need you guys. Wow. We need you guys. Please donate. Please donate. Thank you, guys. Missing Ruth, thank you so much. I don't know. Gifted one subscription. Thank you, Miss San Ruth. Miss how do I say your name? Miss Anruth? I just want to say your name correctly. Thank you so much. Here we go. President Donald, your president in China, in Japan. Look at the people here. They are so excited to see your president. Look at this.
Yeah, what I was seeing was Colbert making fun of him.
Yeah. Wow.
That must be a bunch of idiots there too. Like all of us are idiots here. This is monumental. I'm not trying to diminish this.
It's huge.
It's so huge. I think I did Arnold.
All right, Miso North. Gotcha, Miso North. Thank you. I will never forget that.
Miso North. Oh, see, I told you were screwing that up.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be here. Incredible people, incredible country. I'm thrilled to be back with so many visionary innovators and titans of industry, the most brilliant in the world, actually. So many different locations, and they come from all over, but this is a very special country that I'm in, and the business leaders here at APEC are really fantastic. So many friends, and I want to thank our host at this important summit, President Lee of South Korea. He's a terrific person, and I'm going to be meeting with him this afternoon, and I look forward to that very much. The Republic of Korea is a cherished American friend and a close ally, and as we can see in this beautiful city, it's truly one of the most remarkable nations anywhere on earth. Here in this peninsula, the people of South Korea have forged a miracle of economic development like you rarely see, an industrial and technological powerhouse, and above all, a free society and enduring democracy and a thriving civilization. And I want to congratulate you. It's very few places like it. The entire world should be inspired by all that you have achieved, and they study you and they do so much to understand what you've done, but most of them don't get it. And that's probably good for you. Keep it this way. Most of them don't get it. They want to get it, but it doesn't quite work out for them the same way it works out for you. So that's a great tribute to you. We have some very special people with us today, and I want to thank for the great job he's done, and also for being here, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Marco, you're around here someplace. Where's Marco? Marco, thank you. Man who's doing a fantastic job, who understands the markets maybe better than anybody. Our Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent. Scott, thank you very much. And somebody that you're dealing with, who you made a very good deal with, because you have very good negotiators, but he's pretty good too, Howard Lutnick, Secretary of Commerce. Thank you, Howard. U.S. Trade Representative, Ambassador Jameson Greer is a fantastic person. And your career's Minister of Trade, Industry, and Resources, Mr. Jung Kwan Kim, who's an incredible man, actually. My people say he's very tough, however. We wish we had somebody of a little bit lesser caliber, but they decided not to do that. And so many other distinguished guests are here, so I just want to thank you very much. It's an incredible room. It's a beautiful room, by the way. All those beautiful people up there, so high up. This place is packed. Thank you. Look at it, we're waving. Thank you very much. But as you know, APEC unites Pacific nations around our growing economies and promoting our shared interests. And today I come with exciting news from one of the largest Pacific nations. We'll call ourselves a Pacific nation, but one of the largest of them all, the United States of America. I'm pleased to report to you that this afternoon, after 4 years of weakness, disaster, really decline, America is back, and it's back stronger than ever before. We're doing numbers that nobody's ever seen before. We're the hottest country in the world, actually, and I say that with other countries represented, and they admit it. But I do say it very proudly. 1 year ago, our country was in very, very serious trouble. Some people thought our country was dead. Now we're literally the sort of an inspiration to a lot of other countries. We are indeed, I use the term hottest country, but we're the hottest country anywhere in the world by far. The United States is blessed with right now, the strongest economy, the strongest borders. This all happened over the last 9 months. The strongest military, the strongest friendships, and the strongest spirit of any nation on the face of the earth. This is a golden age in a short period of time. I knew we could do it. I didn't know we were going to do it this quickly. It's a little bit more than 9 months. So in less than 1 year, we've secured commitments for over $18 trillion of new investments. As an example, the previous administration, in 4 years, they did less than $1 trillion. I think much less, actually, and hurt our country very badly. Who would have known? But we're going to be 18, so I figure that we'll probably be at 20 or 21, maybe even $22 trillion of investments coming into our country by the end of the first year of my second term. And, we had a tremendously successful first term. We had the strongest economy in history for our country, strongest we ever had. But this is, I think, blowing it away. We have great policy. We have some very good things happening. The stock market, as you know, is set 45 all-time highs since in a period of, it's pretty good, in a period of 9 months, breaking new records week after week, including one just yesterday. We set the record GDP growth in the second quarter, and that's with all of the things that we're doing. When they are built in a year and 2 years, we're going to go through the roof. I mean, we're going to see numbers that I don't think have ever been seen before. But even during this period of a little bit of a period of transition, you could call it, because I think we're in an economic revolution in America. We went at 3.8%. We're up 3.8%. GDP triple and even quadruple the rate that a lot of people thought we'd be. They thought that during this period that we'd be at a much lower rate. Some people predicted 1.5, and we're going to be very close to 4. The next quarter, we're expected to be at about 4% growth. And after that, I mean, I can't even predict, because when all of these factories that are moving in, the car plants are moving in. Yesterday, I was with Mr. Toyota in Japan, and he's just announced he's going to spend, they are going to spend $10 billion, and they're going to build new car plants, and they're going to build them in numerous states, about 6 or 7 different states. And we're bringing our car industry back. We're bringing AI. We're leading everybody in AI. We're leading every nation in AI by a lot. In 9 months, we've lifted over 600,000 Americans off food stamps. Wages for workers are rising at the fastest pace.
All right. Did you hear that? We lifted 600,000 people off food stamps. How do you do that, Shady?
Jobs.
Oh, by bringing people to invest in America, to build factories here, so we have what?
Jobs.
Wow.
The absolute cornerstone of any economy is what?
Jobs.
Oh.
More than 60 years, and meanwhile, energy prices are down, gasoline prices are down, grocery prices are down, mortgage rates are down, despite the fact that we have an incompetent head of the Fed. He's incompetent. I call him Jerome Too Late. He's always too late. Jerome Too Late Powell. But he's out of there in another couple of months. We'll be very happy about that. We'll appoint somebody that we all like, because we should have the lowest interest rates of any country, because without us, there are no other countries, really. I mean, the whole thing falls apart. You know, America always had the lowest interest rates, and now we don't do that. We're like number 28. It's ridiculous. And we're a much different country than we were 2 years ago, or a year ago even. But you know what the crazy thing is? In the old days, I call the old days, I'm a little bit older. I'm looking at all these young, brilliant faces. I'm a slight, couple of years older than you, just a couple of years. But in the old days, when you announced good news, the stock market went up. You announced good news, the stock market would go up. Now, when you announce good news, the stock market goes down, because people say, oh, that's terrible. You're doing well, that's terrible. Interest rates will go up. So they think because of that, interest rates will go up because that. It's inverse to what it should be. We're going to go back to the way it used to be. When we announce good news, the stock markets are going to go up. And that's the way it should be. And we're going to really ride that very hard. And when we announce good news, we're not going to have a Fed that's going to raise interest rates because they're worried about inflation in 3 years from now or something. When we announce good news, we want the stock market to go up, not to go down. And the scourge of inflation we inherited. We inherited the worst inflation ever that we've ever had. I inherited from incompetent people, and now we're down to a very low rate of inflation, 2.7%, and it's going to be a little bit lower than that. It's almost a perfect number. Believe it or not, you don't want to have zero. You want to have like 1% to 2%, and we're very close to that number. But we had inflation, the worst in the history of our country. But factories are booming in the USA, and manufacturing productivity is rising 5 times faster than it was just 1 year ago. Think of that. Steel production is way up by 155,000 tons a week. Oil production is through the roof by 500,000 barrels a day. And mining of clean, beautiful coal, I call it clean, beautiful coal, is up by 2.6 million tons every single month. And we brought coal back into the picture. What you can do with coal today is incredible. So I call it clean, beautiful. I don't use the word coal, I say, because it's got a little bit of a problem, public relations-wise, the word. So we call it clean, beautiful. My administration's not allowed to use the word coal. They have to say clean, beautiful coal. We've given it a new name. It's a three-name deal. Even semiconductor manufacturing is rapidly returning to the United States. NVIDIA and TSMC have just produced the first state-of-the-art Blackwell chip that was 100% made in the USA. In fact, Jensen, who's a credible guy, might be here. I don't even know. Is Jensen here? I think he's around. Somebody said he's here. How is he? Pretty good, right? Got a chip got a chip that's like 10 years advanced, but he's great. And they're all, building now. They're building tremendous plants in the United States, Arizona, Texas, all over. We're going to have a big portion of the chip market just in a very short period of time. But these tremendous strides are also creating great jobs for our citizens. 1.9 million more American-born workers are employed today than when I took office 9 months ago. Think of that. Almost 2 million people more American workers. Nobody's ever had numbers like that. And those numbers are going to get much bigger, much better than that when we open these plants that are being built all over, the AI plants. I've never seen plants this big. I built shopping centers, I built a lot of things, but if you spend 250, 300 million, you can build a big shopping center. These people are spending $50 billion to build a building. And I say, what's your product? Information. I said, well, good luck. That's a lot of information you're going to have. But, they're the smartest people in the world are doing it, and they all think it's great. All I can do is make it easy for them. And what I've done, one of the things that I'm most proud of, because I thought of it like every country, our electricity production, our energy production is not, it's not, nobody ever saw this kind of a revolution with the AI. And what they need more than anything is electricity. So if a country was able to do that, it would be, pretty unusual. It would be very hard. Maybe you could say impossible. So I came up with a concept when they build this massive plant, sometimes the size of Manhattan. Think of that. Size of Manhattan. These plants are the biggest. I've never seen anything like it. Actually, nobody has. There's never been anything like it. But I let them build their own electricity generating plants with it. So they're building their own electric. They're sort of becoming an electric producing company in addition to all of the other things that they produce, including information. And what they're able to do is start immediately. We're giving them very fast permits. We're no longer having them wait for 10 years, 12 years, 15 years prior to rejection. They'd go 15 years and then they'd get a vote, a rejection. And by that time, their concepts were old and obsolete anyway. So, it's terrible. And we're getting it done rapidly, literally rapidly. And they're coming up with electric generating plants, the likes of which nobody has seen. The companies are standard companies that do electricity and create power companies. They've never seen anything like it because we have a level of genius, a level of people that are designing things that nobody's ever seen before that produces vast amounts of electricity for their plant. And if they have extra electricity, they sell it back into the grid. So they really, it's really been amazing. And it allows people to start building immediately, and they can't blame the government. They won't blame me because I didn't produce enough out of the grid that's 200 years old. So we have more people now working than at any time in the history of our country. And we've sort of just begun. It's hard to believe, actually, if you knew where we were 2 years ago. All of this is incredible news for Americans and for nations around the globe, and it is for South Korea because we're partners. We're serious partners. We're wedded, and we have a very special relationship, a special bond. In fact, we're working with you on shipbuilding, where you're going to come in. We were the #1 in the world during World War II. We produced a ship a day. Can you believe it? Tankers and freighters and this, but a ship a day. And today we're not really building ships, and we're going to start, and we're going to have a very thriving shipbuilding industry, and we're working it with South Korea very much so. In fact, some of the people in this room, they bought the Philadelphia shipyard. I think it's going to be one of the most successful yards in the world, anywhere in the world. It's great, known for incredible production years ago, and sort of through bad management or bad thinking by people that were prior to me. You have to blame the president. You can give the president credit or blame the president, but I blame the president. They allowed the shipbuilding industry to go away, essentially, in our country. We're going to bring it back very, very powerfully. When America thrives, our partners thrive, and our alliances thrive with all of the countries. The Indo-Pacific thrives, and that's good for all of us, and the entire world becomes safer and wealthy and greater than ever before. We get along with a lot of countries. We solved a lot of wars and a lot of problems, and that's all good for all of us. The extraordinary American turnaround that I've just described has been achieved not by just continuing business as usual back in Washington. If I didn't win the election, and we won it in a landslide, we won by tremendous numbers. I had a whole thing too big, you have to say, too big to rig. We didn't want any rigging. We had these great polls going in. I said, don't believe the polls. Pretend we're 1 point down. Always assume we're 1 point down. And everybody voted. We won in a landslide. We won all 7 swing states. You have to win the swing states. And we won all 7, which is something that rarely happens. But to win the popular vote by millions, we won everything you can win. The Electoral College by a tremendous amount. We won in counties. They have counties, thousands of counties. And we were 2,700 compared to 525 actually. So think of that. We were 2,750 compared to 525. And that's why the map shows all red. Red being Republican, not something else. Red being Republican. Only a few people understand that one. My administration has rejected the old model of incompetent government that punished success and rewarded failure and made building anything almost impossible. When you come into our country, and many of you are doing that, but when you come into America, you're going to get service like you've never seen before. Quick permits, and we want safety, we want great environmental, we want everything good, but it's going to go quickly. We're rewarding those who build and create and hire and invest in the USA, and we're making America the best place on earth to do business, and that's what it's become very quickly. We have some wonderful people. Lee Zeldin at Environmental, he's incredible. He gets the right result quickly, and he makes sure that people do the right thing. But we will have the best tax rates, the lowest energy costs. We have the lowest energy. We have tremendous amounts of energy, more than anybody else. We have the most oil and gas and coal, more than any other nation on earth. So that's a big advantage that we have over others. We have the lowest regulatory burden. In my first term, we cut more regulations than any other administration in history, and we're going to do about the same level right now or more if we can. The most advanced technology and the fairest trade deals anywhere in the world. And for decades before I took office, our country was run by legions of bureaucrats who were always looking for a reason to say no. Why? How can we say no? They wanted to say no. They thought that was their job, and it's really just the opposite. We work to say yes. So now we have a president in the White House who cuts through the red tape and excuses. We don't stand for excuses, and says yes to big ideas and bold initiatives and grand ambitions so that America can have great industries, great dreams, and to be the greatest nation on earth, which is where we are now, actually, in a very short period of time. We're rebuilding things that are incredible. We have the strongest military in the world. We have the best equipment. We have the best manufacturers of equipment. And South Korea is buying a lot of our weapons. We make the best. We have the planes and just about everything other than ships. And we'll be there very shortly with ships too. But the only reason it's not ships, because, I don't know, for some reason they stopped doing that. I guess they went on to other businesses, but there are some basics in life, and one of the things you need is ships. I always say you need steel, you need aluminum, you need this, there are things you don't need. A lot of things that a country doesn't need them, but things you need steel. Gotta have steel, and we're redoing our steel, and some of the people in this room are very involved in that. We're redoing our industry. We're starting to produce large amounts of steel, massive amounts of steel. We'll be right at the top in a very short period of time. The mills are opening again, and they're opening up big. And again, it's national security, and it's because of tariffs. We're reclaiming our heritage as a nation of builders and doers, and we're pioneers in a sense, but we're really doing it again, but we're doing it even better than we did the first time, which is the first couple of 100 years. And we're pursuing this vision with unrelenting drive and really unprecedented success. In July, I proudly sounded law. It was very important. I went into the archives. We looked at every possible thing you could look at, and I signed into law the largest tax cuts in American history. And as you remember, in my first term, we cut taxes from 39% down to 21%. And now we've done even better than that, putting more money in the pockets of American families that make up the largest consumer market on earth for businesses and manufacturers like those in this room. Our tax law includes 100% expensing for all new factories, plants, and equipment. So that means you can write everything off in the first year. So that's like we had in the first, except this goes for a period of 10 years, whereas the other was over a much shorter period of time. And I actually think that we had such tremendous success. I always said that was the single most important thing, the expensing, the one-year expensing. Upon taking office, I signed executive orders that require that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations have to be eliminated. I did that in the first term too, and it worked. So if you want a new regulation, you have to get rid of 10, and already we're exceeding that limit, reaching closer to 30 to 1. Our people have done that, our great secretaries and other people in the administration. So we've been actually at a level where we sign in a new regulation, they get rid of 30 older. We're sort of cleaning up the books because many of these regulations are obsolete, they don't belong, and some were so horrible, they were obsolete, but they really stopped projects from being built, and we're getting rid of all of them. We've pretty much done that. We have streamlined permitting for all new energy and mining projects. It used to take decades for an administration to get something approved, and now it's a process that will take, generally speaking, less than 28 days. In addition, across government, we're guaranteeing a rapid and expedited regulatory review for all new projects in the United States, and that's worth billions and billions of dollars to industry. You spent more money on trying to get something approved than you do in building the plant itself. You know, in Louisiana, my first term, there were 2 plants, and one was financed by a tremendous group of Japanese investors, and it was about $16 billion, LNG plants. Another one was financed by people from South Korea and others. LNG, both of them, massive LNG. They were in the review process. One was 15 years, one was 16 or 17 years, and they were then told, forget it, we're not going to get it approved. So I came into government, I heard about it, and I love Louisiana. We did very well there. We did well in just about all the states, but we did really well in Louisiana. And so I got involved. The one plant that was in for almost 15 years, I got it approved in one day. One day. In fact, when we called the people to say that they got approved, they didn't know what the hell we were talking about. They said, you got it approved. We sort of gave up on it. I said, no, you don't have to give up. We got it approved. The other one took me a little bit longer. I didn't do as good a job. It took me 1 week. And they got approved and they got built. They're massive plants and they're doing unbelievably. They're like setting records, LNG. Big, it's like the Empire State Building lying on its side. And all I know is, I looked at it, I said, what kind of a building is that? All it's got is pipes going back and forth. I never saw anything like it, but whatever it is, it works. And they've been very, very successful. But think of it, 14 and 15 years, and I got one approved in one day and one approved in 1 week, and they've been doing great, and they've been good for the environment. I've shrunk the size of government for the first time in many years since January. 100,000 bureaucrats have left the federal payroll. You've probably seen that. So we're creating real jobs. We're getting rid of wasteful jobs. Government spending is down 2.5% this quarter compared to 1 year ago. It was going through the roof in the previous administration. And in stark contrast to 4 years ago. I mean, if you look, 100% of all new jobs created in America under my administration have been created by the private sector. Think of that. The government created no new jobs. The private sector created the record number of jobs that we're talking about. That's a country. That's really a success. It's easy to create government jobs. I could say, add a lot of people to your payrolls. I can fake up the numbers if I want, but that's not the way you build.
Wait, Shady. So he wants to not give government jobs, but regular people jobs.
Yes, government jobs are terrible.
Huh.
Government jobs mean nothing. They have always meant nothing in the real economy. And until the Bush administration and the Clinton administration, they weren't even counted as jobs hardly because it was government jobs. That's not a real job. That's not a private sector job. It's like university. Remember in Ghostbusters how they're like, oh, no, we've never been in the private sector. Well, the jobs are private sector.
Wow. Amazing. How do you rebuild an economy?
Ground up. Jobs.
great country. You don't do that here, and that's not the way. But it's a good way to show good numbers, I'll tell you. You just tell everybody, hire a lot of people. That's what they used to do under the Biden administration, under Barack Hussein Obama. You had, they'd say, hire a lot of people so we can make our numbers look good. I do the opposite. And we have real numbers. These are real numbers. There's truly no better time to invest in the USA. The results speak for themselves. Since the election, TSMC has pledged to invest $100 billion in the United States. So they're coming in from Taiwan. We have tremendous numbers of companies coming from Taiwan and building in the U.S. Apple, $600 billion investment. Hyundai, $26 billion. Micron, $200 billion. SoftBank, OpenAI, and Oracle, over $500 billion. Amazon, $35 billion. Pfizer, $70 billion. Jera, $200 billion. Google, $25 billion. NVIDIA, $500 billion. Genentech, $50 billion. Johnson & Johnson, $57. We're bringing back all of our pharmaceutical business. IBM, $150 billion. AstraZeneca, $50 billion, among many others, many others, too many to talk about. But one of the most significant factors in this remarkable surge of new investment has been my transformation of trade policy. 8 years ago, I came to this very summit. I was here. Does anybody remember? I don't know. I remember. Does anybody remember what I said? Yeah, there's a few hands up there. It must have been a great speech. 3 people. It's not too many people. But there's no reason to, because you saw whatever I said, I did. And for the first time, I laid out the principle that economic security is national security. Economic security, that's for South Korea, that's for any country. But economic security is, in fact, national security. I made the case that the global trading system was broken and in urgent need of reform, had to be fixed. The system had been exploited by countries that broke the rules at the expense of countries that followed the rules to a T, and asked the nations of APEC to be our partners in making the system fair and more sustainable for all of us, and we all work together, the APEC nations. 8 years later, as I'm back here in Asia, and I'm pleased to say that the positive vision for revolutionary reform I laid out, it seems like a long time ago, is now a reality. What really seems amazing is that we did all these things. We stopped a lot of wars. We did so many different things, made our country strong. Thank you. Thank you. And the campaign seemed like so long ago. And I was reading something today in one of the journals, and they said, can you believe it? 1 year ago, I was campaigning to win. Think of that. It was about a week. In a week, it'll be November 5th. And November 5th was the election. I said, can you imagine that? Here I am, president. We've done so many different things, economically, militarily, peace-wise, peace through strength. And yet, 1 year ago, it's not long ago, I was campaigning. We didn't win. We were campaigning, and then we had the election, and we had a great election. And the spirit in our country is like incredible. If you compare that, we lost a lot of spirit in our country. Our country is depressed. They were very depressed, and they had a right to be. But around the world, we're signing one trade deal after another to balance our relationships on the basis of reciprocity. Very important word. On this trip alone, I've signed groundbreaking agreements with Malaysia, Cambodia, Japan. And our deal with the Republic of Korea will be finalized very soon, like moments or very shortly thereafter. These agreements will be incredible victories for all of us, because everyone is better off when we have stable partnerships, not plagued by chronic problems and imbalances. Probably you know that President Xi of China is coming tomorrow here, and we're going to be, I hope, making a deal. I think we're going to have a deal. I think it'll be a good deal for both. And that's really a great result. That's better than fighting and going through all sorts of problems and, no reason for it. I think it's going to be a great deal for both, so I'll be meeting him tomorrow. A lot of people are interested. They're also interested in what we're doing, but they're interested in that. I can tell you a lot. The world is watching, and I think we'll have something that's very exciting for everybody, and that's also good for South Korea. It's good for all nations. We're ending gaping trade deficits, unfair trade barriers to market access, insecure supply chains, weak, pathetic supply chains, and much, much more. We had such bad supply chains under the last administration. It was embarrassing. And we're entering a new era of trade that truly works for both sides. Got to work for everybody. You know, deals have to be good for everybody. I've heard that all the time, and I never really believed it, I'll be honest. I said, oh, you make a great deal. The best deals are deals that work for everybody, especially when you're talking about nations. You know, when you're talking about nations, it really is a little bit different than you're doing a business deal and you want to just rip their hearts out, right? These guys know what I mean. They've ripped out so many hearts. But when you have nations, it's a little bit different, you know? It's you gotta all balance out a little bit. When I announced reciprocal tariffs last April, some people thought it was wonderful and others really weren't so sure. They weren't sure. They didn't understand tariffs because tariffs were used against us. We didn't use tariffs stupidly. And we do now. National security. This week we proved once and for all that few critics, there were no critics left. The only critics are people that took advantage of us for many years, and now they're not able to do that. The deals we're signing with our friends and partners are making our alliances closer and stronger than ever before, and they respect us because it was so foolish.
So the world is watching, Shady.
And there you have it. Are they not?
They are. And they're not watching Colbert, I'll tell you that right now.
They're also not watching Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson.
Who?
Exactly.
24 posts with the world is watching, guys. So I saw this last night, and I was like, "Oh my god, the world is watching." When we have, should we tell all the good people watching the day and time red carpet rollout? Think logically. The world is watching. Think logically. Attack the world. Are the people of France to blame? Are the people to blame the ruling class, leaders, controllers? Apply leverage strategically, one by one, by unity, power shift. This is what you're seeing right now, Shady. He's going after the ruling class one by one with a power shift. Rise of the people worldwide. I mean, wow, guys. The world is connected.
Because we want to lead, okay? Guess what you can't do whenever you're in last place?
Right.
Can't lead. And so we're in last place in everything. Whenever I was young in 1970 or late 1970s, it was tough to find a category of anything around the world where the American society did not lead the way. Yeah. And periodically over the last 40 years, they have been specifically targeting and attacking that ability to lead. And the way that you do that is you make the people weak so that none of them can lead, so that none of them de-educate them, so none of them know how to lead. Never put an example in front of them of a person leading, and no one will ever become a leader, guys. That's what they've been doing. And that's the reason that they were so afraid of Trump. And that's the reason that this stuff that he's showing you right now is so significant. The world is watching. The world was with us. There were more people that were pro-Q people outside of America than there were in America.
Yeah, it seems like it, right? We have our Q Army Japan, all of it. Look at this. The world is watching, guys. Look at this. Wow. I mean, the world is connected and the world is watching. So the entire world is watching. Patriots from around the world are praying for America, Shady. We've covered this many times. It's in our Patriot reading, Shady.
Mm-hmm.
We've elected traitors to govern us. We've allowed evil to prey on us. Those who claim to represent us gave us false hope, made false promises, and the corruption only grew, guys. This is about you. Restoring old glory. Look at this. We are fathers. We are mothers. We are daughters, sons, brothers, sisters. We do not look at race. We do not look at skin color. We are united in these states of America. And this is amazing. So I just wanted to go ahead and just pop that up real quick, Shady Groove, because wow. And let's go back to President Donald J.
I just
Trump.
want to say real quick that I'm thankful that the world is watching.
Yeah.
I'm thankful because this is, I think, the more that I see this play out and the more that I see like everything that we just witnessed, like the whole No Kings thing and all these people that are effectively the boomer generation that are watching CNN. So if you're curious about who it was that showed up for the No Kings protest, it was the people that were watching CNN and their children. That's who showed up. So, and their children showed up, a lot of them, just because they're like, oh, let's support grandpa because he's got the dementia setting in. So this is literally the old guard, that whole generation, the counterculture. Yeah. Think about it for a second. What was the counterculture? What was the counterculture to America? That's what it was. Tune in, drop out. Drop out of the system, drop out of being productive, drop out of capitalism. That's what they want. Let's start attacking capitalism. That's what the whole counterculture was about. Counterculture is effectively implement communism.
Yep. That's right.
And now the world is watching. The world is watching us turn it around and seeing an example for themselves. Sorry, that was.
And they're worried about the stupidest stuff, guys.
They are
crazy. Jingleheimer
Oh, wow, you really
Jingleheimer Schmidt says, I missed that, Ozzy, because he knew that Fiona says, the entire world is watching. Who heard it like that? That's Fiona. The entire world is watching. Patriots from around the world. I love her. All right, and we
should play that today.
I know, we should. All right, here we go. This is DJT back.
The people that ran our country were so foolish. With these agreements, our nations will extend our vitals.
Well, he basically just said the people that ran our countries were so foolish. Listen to that. It's basically that Q post. Wow.
Security alliances into the realm of economic security for the first time ever. We're forging new partnerships on strategically important industries like shipbuilding, energy, semiconductors, critical minerals, and, very important pharmaceuticals. We learned that during COVID. We had to rely on other countries to give us pharmaceuticals. You can't do that. You have to, certain industries you want to have there. You want to have your medicines made ideally in your own country. Many of our agreements also include deepening collaboration of industries of the future, such as nuclear, quantum, artificial intelligence, where America is number one by a lot. Actually, we're really number one by a lot. We're number one in military consequence. We're number one in military in the quality of the weapons. That's why everyone wants to buy for us. I'll tell you what we have a long lead on is submarines, nuclear submarines. We are so far advanced that by perhaps 20, 25 years, we're 25 years ahead of any competition. And not only are the tariffs strengthening our alliances, they're also bringing peace to the world. On Sunday in Malaysia, we signed the Kuala Lumpur Peace Accords, ending forever the war between Cambodia and Thailand. Thank you. Thank you. It's interesting. We were making trade deals with Cambodia and with Thailand, and I sort of watch what I do. I don't go to the beach and sleep all day. I like to watch. And I see Cambodia, Thailand, among many other nations, and this is true for numerous other deals too, but I see Cambodia, Thailand, and I read a front page story about the fact that there were thousands of dead people along the border, and they fought for a long time. And I said, wait a minute, we're making deals, and they're starting a war? They were just starting, and it was vicious. Thousands of people were killed along the border, their two borders. And I said, let's call the head. I didn't know the heads of either one. I called them. They were both great people and sort of reasonable. I said, listen, you want a trade deal? We're not going to make a deal with you if you're going to be in war. Then I called Cambodia, I called Thailand, I called Cambodia, back and forth. And after about 2 days, we ended up with the help of Malaysia. Malaysia was like a mediator. We used a beautiful facility in Malaysia because it was too hot. And I don't mean hot weather-wise. I mean, it was hot.
It's always hot.
Hot, with bullets flying all over the place. And Malaysia was fantastic, and they helped implement it. The prime minister was great guy, just left him. And within 2 days, we signed the deal, and the two people came in. They were like best friends. It was a beautiful thing to see. We saved, probably millions of lives. They've had a tempestuous relationship I said, for how many years? 500 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. But we think this is going to be, hopefully, I use the word everlasting. Same thing in the Middle East. We hope it's going to be everlasting peace. They've never had peace. They've 3,000 years, and we signed in the Middle East. But I've ended 8 wars in 8 months, and in many instances, trade has played a big part in getting those wars ended. On top of it all, tariffs now projected to reduce our deficit by $4 trillion over the next 10 years, and I think actually much more than that. That's national security, because you can't have deficits and you can't have debt all over the place. And stops inflation and strengthening the dollar and ultimately balancing our federal budget, which I think we're going to do very quickly, only because of our policy of fair tariffs. And for any company that does not wish to pay the tariff, I say, you could build your factory in America. If you build your factory in America, there are zero tariffs. But, again, going back to the wars, it's so important. If you look at India and Pakistan, so I'm doing a trade deal with India, and I have great respect and love. As you know, for Prime Minister Modi, we have a great relationship. Likewise, the Prime Minister of Pakistan is a great guy, and the Field Marshal, they have a Field Marshal. You know why he's a Field Marshal? He's a great fighter. He really is. He's a great guy, too. And so I know them all. And I'm reading that 7 planes were shot down. They're going at it, and they're really starting to go. And it's a big thing. These are 2 nuclear nations, and they're really going at it. And I called Prime Minister Modi. I said, we can't make a trade deal with you. No, we must make a trade deal. I said, no, we can't. You're starting a war with Pakistan. We're not going to do it. And then I called Pakistan. I said, we're not going to do trade with you because you're fighting with India. And, 2 nuclear nations. And they said, no, you should let us fight. They both said that. They're warring. They're strong people, I'll tell you what. Prime Minister Modi is the nicest looking guy. He says, and he looks like you'd like to have your father, he's a killer. He's tough as hell. No, we will fight. I said, whoa, this is the same man that I know. But after a little while, and they're good people, and after literally 2 days, they called up and they said, we understand, and they stopped fighting. How is that? Isn't that amazing? Now, you think Biden would have done that? I don't think so. Most people wouldn't have thought of it, but, they wouldn't have thought of it. No, but here we are, we're doing deals. So you add an extra sentence, and you say you have to stop shooting at each other. 7 planes were shot down. You have to stop the war. And they stopped the war. And if it weren't for the tariffs, I said I was going to put 250% tariffs on each country, which means that you'll never do business. In other words, there's nothing you can sell for 250%. That means that's a nice way of saying we don't want to do business with you. You don't have to say that because that's a nasty, we don't want to do business. No. You say we're going to put 250% tariffs if you don't stop the war. And they understood that. And within 48 hours, we had no war, no people killed. I mean, it's makes me feel so good. It's we saved millions and millions of lives with all of them. Azerbaijan. If you look at just take a look at that one. That was going on for, I think, 38 years, right? And President Putin called me. He said, "It's amazing. It's amazing. We couldn't get that war stopped. 38 years it went on. Millions of people killed, and we got it done." And the 2 countries came in, and they were in the White House, and they started off here. And they got closer. After an hour, they were hugging each other in peace. It was amazing, actually. It was beautiful to see 2 very good countries, 2 very good leaders. One was there for 22 years, one was there for 7. And they both said, my entire political life, all I did was shoot people on the other side. And we got it closed up. And we did that 8 times. The only one I didn't do is Russia, Ukraine, but that'll get done too. That'll get done. I thought that was going to be an easy one because of my relationship with President Putin. He turned out to be a little different, but I think it'll get done. It's would have never started if I were president. That war would have never, ever started. So we've used trade to create peace in a lot of different locations. We also solved the war in Africa, Congo, Republic of Congo, and Rwanda. That was much smaller to do with trade, more to do with common sense. They were fighting for years. 10 million people were dead, and we got that one done too. So we did a lot of them. We did 8 in 8 months. And I think the other one's going to come along. I really think so. I thought that would have been one of the easier ones. Who would have thought we created peace in the Middle East but didn't get Russia and Ukraine? Because peace in the Middle East was undoable. They're shaking their heads. It was undoable. We got it done. 3,000 years, okay? They never had peace. They never had anything like it. We have all countries signed up, and the level of spirit and everything. I think it's going to hold for a long time, hopefully forever. Hopefully that's an everlasting one too. So in conclusion, at some point in your careers, every great business person and CEO in this room today has faced critics who said reform, innovation, and bold action would only lead to a total disaster, but none of us would be here if we had listened to the small minds with no vision. These are small minds with no vision. They had no understanding of success. They had no understanding of life and death. True success comes from having the confidence and the courage to prove the doubters wrong. And oftentimes you'll go the opposite way of almost everybody, and you'll be the one that's right, and the others will be the one that's wrong. And that's where you have your greatest success.
We're always wrong until we're right.
And that's what America and our Indo-Pacific partners really are doing this week, and what our businesses and entrepreneurs do each and every day. That's what you do, the most successful people in the world. Together, we're solving the challenges that no one before us has ever been able to solve, and we're forging a free and open Indo-Pacific, and for all of the people, we're creating a future of dignity and security, prosperity and pride. From the rolling hills of San Francisco to the gleaming streets of Seoul, from the bustling factories of Toledo, Ohio, to the bright lights of Tokyo, from Pittsburgh to Palawan, from Boston to Bangkok, from Detroit to Da Nang, and from Cleveland to right here in Gwangju. Nice place. Did I do good with that one? Did I do okay? Gwangju. Good, beautiful place, by the way. We're strengthening old friendships, forging new bonds, building new factories, pioneering new industries, and creating a dramatically better world for our children and for generations to come. Together we will build a future of strong, independent nations on both sides of the vast ocean, joined by our common interests, united by common values, and reaching constantly toward a richer, safer, and more peaceful Pacific with fairness, persistence, and common sense. That's such an important two words. We will build together, we will trade together, we will prosper together, we will thrive together, and above all, we will win together like never before. We're going to have an incredible relationship together for generations to come. And I just want to thank everybody in the room. I know so many of you, you're incredible people. God bless you. God bless the nations of this great region, and God bless America. Thank you very much, everybody.
Wow. Look at the respect he's getting. People want to be a part of the golden age, Shady.
Not going to get a Democrat to stand up for him.
Why not? You know, when is enough going to be enough, Shady, with these people?
Question.
Seriously, they're polling at the lowest they've ever polled since polling was even begun.
And what do you think it meant by we let the enemy destroy themselves? You know? And I mean, I'm going to give you my take on it. I'm just saying, man. You know, it's like for what I see whenever I watch something like this, and this is part of the reason that we bring you this content in full, is so that you can see the truth in comparison to what it is you're seeing in social media. This is the dynamic you're currently watching right now, guys. And, you know, whenever Q mentioned the old guard and the separation from the old guard, what did that mean? It means we're walking away from the neocon era, guys. Yeah. When did you ever hear a neocon, Jeff? Just tell me. Did you ever hear a neocon say these two words? Where is it? Prosperity and dignity. Did you ever hear a neocon go into a diplomatic setting and say, I want to work with you, a foreign country, for a future of quote unquote prosperity and dignity? As a matter of fact, they did something quite different, didn't they? The neocons would go in the room and they would call them a threat. They would say that they're the enemy, that they would paint and make it seem like, you know, how many times did we hear that we had to be afraid of American isolationism? Mm-hmm. Why is that? Why and move towards globalism? Isn't globalism? And this is my argument. Can we view globalism as American isolationism? The reverse. So they're basically saying, oh, Donald Trump is trying to isolate America. Well, it seems to me like China was trying to isolate America. It seems to me like China and the neocons and the world order, quote unquote, was trying to isolate America so that we couldn't compete with anybody. And what Donald Trump is trying to do is open up America and de-isolate our country so that we can accept foreign investment, and then we could have a future of, like, what did he say? Oh, yeah, dignity and prosperity together. Instead of the world of bombs and Cold War, what if we had a future of dignity and prosperity? What if all of these people like Rand Paul and Tom Massey and Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson are of the neocon fabric? General Flynn, okay? Neocon fabric. Alex Jones.
Don't be bringing me up either, Shady.
Alex Jones.
I'll eat you.
Neocon fabric.
I will.
Yes, sir. The perfect antithetical response to the neocon fabric was Alex Jones. So,
screw Trump. F Trump. I mean, they don't like Trump, Shady.
They don't like Trump. General Flynn, I'm not a giant fan. How in the hell can you make that statement? How in the world can those words possibly come out of your mouth if you are actually?
And then he usurps our movement
on purpose
with dingbats.
We're so strong. Trump was
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. Mr. Truthbomb, who called everybody in this chat pedophiles, was on Stormy Patriot Joe's channel on Rumble.
I can't even believe that.
Doing Q proofs.
The guy wasn't even around for Q.
Oh my God.
And he's a foreign intel asset.
Oh my God.
The guy is like a
literally Five Eyes, Australia, wasn't it?
No, I don't think he's Australia. I think he's in Europe, but I can't remember. Maybe it was Australia. I can't remember.
Yeah. One of those accents. We love our Scottish anon.
Yeah, don't throw Scottish.
All right, so let's go to the next one because we're not going to get them all in, but this is huge. President Trump participates in a high honor presentation from Japan. Now, we need our country to high honor our president, guys. Do you realize how stupid Colbert looks now? I mean, he's bringing jobs for your children, their children, their children's children. He's bringing peace. Hopefully it lasts. Do you know how that peace lasts? By doing business with each other. Because I need something from you, you need something from me, and we got a deal, and we're getting along. That's this is how it works, Shady.
We need a ballroom so that we can give foreign dignitaries high honor, sir.
No, just put them in a tent.
Put them in a tent.
Yeah, with freaking outhouses or whatever.
Put them in the tent.
Freaking, what are they called? Honeypots?
DC was the hood. Not anymore.
Not honeypots. What are they called? The things where you porta potties. Yeah.
Oh yeah, make you go to the bathroom in a porta potty. Yeah, here you go, like with all of your, your beautiful wife dressed in gold and silk gown. Here, go to the bathroom in a porta potty.
In a porta potty. All right, here we go. So this is a high honor for President Donald J. Trump, guys. Awesome.
And you. They're honoring you. Remember that.
Yeah.
They honor Trump. They're honoring the people that support him.
Your achievements in paving the way toward peace on the Korean Peninsula 6 years ago, and in anticipation of the peace and prosperity you will bring to the Korean Peninsula, we present you this medal with our deepest appreciation.
Thank you very much. It's as beautiful as you can possibly.
If you couldn't hear him, he's saying, you brought peace to the Korean Peninsula 6 years ago. Remember when he met with Kim Jong-un? They're like, you're going to bring World War III. Now he's getting a medal. I mean, how incredible is that, guys?
It's absolutely incredible. What I remember is Obama and George Bush standing on a platform like little scared women looking through a pair of binoculars at North Korea, like, oh, what did North Korea? Donald Trump says, you know what? Hey, take me down there. He gets in the car and he goes down to the border and he says, Kim, come over here. Step right to this line. And then what did he do?
He walked over.
He walked into North Korea.
Wow. I mean talk about bulls. All right, let's go back to this. Here we go.
I always cherish it.
대한민국 국민들이 우리 대통령님께 그런 감사의 마음을 담아서 드리는 것입니다. The people of Korea are awarding you this medal with their deep appreciation.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor. We're going to keep it very good in Korea. It's very, very special. We have a very great relationship, and it will continue and only get stronger. Thank you very much.
대단히 감사합니다. 소중히 간직하겠습니다. 한국과 미국은 아주 강력한 동맹관계이고 앞으로도 이것을 통해서 더욱더 아주 굳건한 동맹관계가 지속될 것으로 생각합니다.
That is really beautiful. I'd like to wear it right now. Thank you so much. We'll cherish it. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it.
소중히 간직하겠습니다. 대단히 감사합니다.
다음 이재명 대통령께서 트럼프 대통령이 준비하신 선물입니다.
Next is a gift from President Lee Jae-myung to President Trump.
한반도를 최초로 통일한 고대왕국 신라의 대표적인 인물 천마총 금관입니다.
This is the Cheonmacheong gold crown, which is a key artifact that represents the Silla dynasty, the first Korean kingdom to unite the Korean peninsula.
천마총 금관은 현존하는 신라의 금관 6점 중에 가장 화려하고 큰 금관입니다.
This gold crown is the largest and most extravagant of the 6 existing gold crowns from the Silla period.
천마총 금관은 하늘의 권위, 지상의 통치를 연결하는 신성한 그리고 지도자의 강력한 리더십과 권위를 승진합니다.
The Cheonmacheong gold crown symbolizes the divine connection between the authority of the heavens and sovereignty on earth, as well as the strong leadership and authority of a leader.
경주를 국비대로 차리신 우리 트럼프 대통령님께 한반도의 처음으로 평화를 가져온 신라의 정신과 함께 한미 동맹의 푸른기를 상징하는 이 금관을 선물로 준비하였습니다.
We present this gold crown to you on this joyous occasion of your state visit to Gyeongju, because it symbolizes the spirit of Silla, which brought peace to the Korean peninsula for the first time, and the opening of the golden age of the Korea-US alliance.
Very special. Very special place. Thank you very much.
특별한 선물 감사드립니다.
한국과 미국 간의 새로운 시대를 위해
To new trust and companionship between Korea and the United States.
Absolutely. That's right. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
대단히 감사합니다.
Okay.
And there it is, man. Look at that. Wow, he got the medal and the crown. Look at that guy. I mean, what an honor. What an honor. You guys should be very proud of your president, as I am. But no, let's not, and I want to make a quick statement too, Shady. I was watching yesterday in Berwyn, Illinois, Shady. Uh-oh. I don't think people really understand what is happening with the ICE agents and what they're up against, Shady.
People don't understand what they're up against.
So I was watching this stream. In fact, one of these Portland people said, "Oh, that's Matrix. Block them." So they blocked me off their stream. So they're starting to understand who I am, Shady. It's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, they can block you from watching?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can block anybody from watching your TikTok.
Wow.
So this is Berwyn, Illinois. And here's a taste of what ICE has to deal with on a daily basis in Illinois. This TikTok user, Soy Jess, and she flashed her phone number in her car. I have that as well, Cash, if you need it. Gathers a bunch of people to go film the ICE agents doing their job. This happened today at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. Okay? You need to watch this, guys. Check this out. So what they're doing is they're honking horns and blowing whistles to warn any illegals in the area. And they're coordinating. She was talking to somebody else. They're like, "Where's ICE?" And they're like getting people, and they're trying to hunt ICE down, and they're going to,
oh, they're getting up. They're getting up. Fuck you guys. Fucking bitches. Oh, we're about to park here. Muchacha y se están manejando el carro de ella. I'm gonna call her family to come get her car. Can I get her keys? I'm gonna call call her family to come get her car. Can I get the keys? I'm gonna call her family. Can I get the keys?
We'll just take the whole keys.
Can I see her ID?
Stop harassing people! Stop harassing people! Stop kidnapping!
Estamos en Berwyn.
Stop harassing people!
Step back.
Fuck out of our town!
What was the probable cause here? He's just looking for keys. What was that, sir? What was the probable cause?
Right now? Hey, if it turns on,
Just stand back for now.
on the keys in there.
Was there any reason for the stop? Just keep your distance. We're just trying to get all safety. There's a bunch of kids. Please don't roll everybody
Just turn it on.
Is that something you guys take into consideration, like the presence of kids or families when you're deciding what force to use in a neighborhood?
Of course.
All right.
So what's the calculation?
We're going to take somebody's car.
You guys trying to...
So we're going to find keys and take somebody's car. That's a question.
We're going to give her the key. We're trying to give her the key.
We're not impeding.
Hispanic police. We are not impeding anything. We are not impeding. We are just
You're
recording.
impeding.
We are recording. We are not impeding.
We are not impeding. Thank you.
Do you guys think that's impeding?
It's impeding.
Okay. I was just asking for friends. And, you know, this has got 1,700 views. I think it needs to go viral, guys. I mean, help me out here. This is the post. I know if I'm not on X. If you're not on X, you can't repost it. But please go repost it as well. Thank you. And, Shady, before we get to the next one on the snaps, I want to talk about one more thing with these Portland people, okay?
Yes, sir. I want to get up. Yeah, I'm waiting until you're finished up, and then I got a couple things than that.
So this is a Portland ICE protest. So the leftist TikTok live streamer asked police questions, but doesn't like their answers. She's acting like a pure and total communist. These people don't understand laws. They don't understand the Constitution. They're so misinformed, and I pray for them, okay? And I don't think this TikToker is a bad person, but I think they're so misinformed, which means that they're so stupid, and I pray for them, Shady.
Yeah, and not only are they stupid, but take a stupid person and mix that with like activated, then you get a real time bomb of idiocy.
Yeah. Beverly, that was Berwyn, Illinois. And I like Illinois. I'm from, Illinois as well. So that was where it is. So this is now, we're moving over to Portland. So the Portland cops are trying to shut down protests through with diplomacy because they know the National Guard's coming, okay? They now have to step up their game and follow the rules because there's people, getting head injuries. A lady was shot in the face yesterday by ICE because they were being douchebags out there. Yep. They're impeding. This is impeding. You're blocking a driveway of ICE. That is impeding investigations, and that's impeding law enforcement, okay? The federal have a little bit more play than the state and local. They can still arrest you guys. You guys need to be careful, but let's play this because she asks questions, but listen to her line of questioning, Shady.
Yep.
Check it out.
Are you guys trying to shut down the protests?
Nope.
So is there a curfew that's going to be happening?
Well, the noise ordinance thing, that's what I talked to you about earlier. The bullhorns and radios and stuff like that. 10 o'clock.
Okay,
when I was walking around with my phone, you saw me showing me, I was just telling people 10 o'clock.
Okay, so no bullhorns and stuff after 10 o'clock. Yeah. Okay. So why are there cops on all the corners then? Because it feels like the goal is to make everybody so uncomfortable they leave.
No, we don't care about protesting. Protesting it's your right to do that as Americans. It's the tit for tat that's going on here that leads to assaults and stuff like that. That for some reason, adults can't come out here, protest, have disagreement, and act like adults. It gets to the point where it turns into physical violence. And
I've been seeing that with the right.
So she says she's only seeing that with the right because she's totally ignoring the black bloc that comes up and gets in conservatives' faces and saying, get out of here. They're telling people to kill themselves. It's ridiculous, guys. This lady, I don't think she's a bad person, but she's very misinformed, Shady.
But the Chad guy was there, wasn't he?
Yeah, Chad was there, and this Tommy boy.
And a couple of the other people that were there that were instigating them, weren't they? They were pretending. Listen, if you're a news guy, that means you're not making yourself the news. A news guy is going to stand there and be invisible in the environment and record what's going on. Nick Sorter and all these other people are making themselves the news. Therefore, these people look at them and say it's violence coming from the right because they're antagonistic, and the left is antagonistic. And let me tell you something, your right to protest does not cover a right to be antagonistic, no matter whose political party you're with and no matter how much freaking money you have.
That's right. And now, just mind you, this lady right here that's filming is not antagonistic. It's her little friends that she does protect. Right. Okay. And now I want you to listen to the line of questioning. You can tell that her commie is showing, Shady Groove. Check it out.
They got a lot of
Have we noticed that at all? That there's a certain type that seems to be instigating it?
It's everyone right now. Not everyone in the sense of every single person, but yeah, it's...
Okay, but so from what I understand, there can't be a camp or anything on the sidewalks anymore, though, and we can't be in the street, and no bullhorns after 10. Are there any other things that...
Just be nice to each other.
Okay, but like there's no other, like, we're going to arrest you if you do this thing. Those are the ones?
No, we'll still arrest for any crime. Those are reckless.
Well, I don't mean that. I mean like rules, like new rules.
The only rules are follow the laws that exist.
And no bullhorns and no stuff.
That's city noise ordinance, stuff like that, yeah.
Okay. But the stuff on the sidewalk that you took, like you came yesterday and it was like the whole move it for ADA requirements so people can go through. And then today there was an emergency thing and you just took everything.
Correct.
That wasn't illegal though. Why did you take everything?
It was an emergency abatement.
Why?
Yeah, I was thinking like the same thing.
What was illegal that happened?
You have to city about that. I wasn't involved in that decision process. I was told to come down here.
Okay. You understand why I'm asking you, sir?
Kind of, but I mean, we shouldn't have camps. We have to have a walkway, at least a walkway on the sidewalk for people to be able to walk by.
Yeah, but that's why we moved everything. It was for the whole ADA thing, and then there was that there, and then y'all came and took everything anyway.
Last night, I can't remember what her name was, but she...
Now, listen to this. So they are saying that MAGA stole things, okay? But that's not what I saw. I saw some lady saying, take what you want. And the cop saw it too. Check it out.
Even said that she goes, take whatever you want. So she was not disavowing, I'm trying to say, not taking ownership of any of the stuff that was there. And she was telling people that were walking by to take whatever you want, which really surprised me. Because I was telling people not to touch that stuff if it wasn't yours. But she was like, go ahead and take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because I was like watching my friends live when she was asking, and I'm not going to say you, but police. Because people from down there were coming and stealing our supplies. And she was like, they just stole the supplies. And then y'all were like,
oh,
what do you want us to do about it? Who's the leader? And she's like, well, there isn't a leader. And they're like, well, then what are we supposed to do? And then y'all just left.
Okay, so now the ownership of property and communism comes into play. Here we go.
Well, part of that problem is you have to have ownership of property. You can't just be like, it's all of ours property, because that doesn't really hold up for like that, like phone you're holding. That's my phone. If someone steals it, the rest of you stealing your phone.
But not if it's a community phone.
You just have a bottle of
a community phone
sitting on the sidewalk, and someone decides to take it. Unless you got a receipt or showing me like you have actual ownership of that product.
So if somebody has like a barbecue and somebody comes up and steals the barbecue, but no one's claiming ownership to it because it was a community barbecue?
You're not supposed to be barbecuing on the sidewalk.
You know what I'm saying?
I know, but I'm almost saying you're not supposed to be barbecuing on the sidewalk, right?
No, I'm not. I was using an example. Let's say it was a park.
I talked to him about that a couple times.
Okay.
This is it.
All right. Thanks for answering my questions.
Numbnut.
So he's a.
Well, so those are the best answers I could get.
So
Yeah, he is making me mad too. I'm done. I'm done.
sorry. She's done. So she's done, Shady. So did you hear the line of a community this, that's communism. Communism is not, if everybody owns it, it's the communities. There's no property to you can't say that somebody stole our property, because even the people that you don't agree with, it's their stuff too. You said community. MAGA people that are there are part of that community. No, Shady? And somebody saying, take it, it's yours? Weird.
The commie popped right out.
Yeah, it did.
The commie popped right out. And the community, this is why they base all this stuff around the community. And they use this word community. That's actually a weapon that they're using against you, is community. And I have some great news to report to you, Jeff. And we didn't talk about this
Are
morning.
you guys trying to...
We didn't talk about this morning, but I do have some great news for all of you. And I want to prepare you for what's about to happen. And we want to take a minute here to prepare you for what's about to happen. The SNAP benefits are getting ready to run out. Okay. That's going to affect roughly 40 million people. These people are not mentally sound. Okay. So we're in the middle of this. I'm explaining this to you because this is how we're going to weaken them. Yesterday or the day before, Corey Lewandowski fired 12 heads of ICE departments around America. I believe they were San Francisco, Seattle, Arizona, Denver, or Phoenix. One in Phoenix, San Francisco, Port or Seattle. There were 12 total around the country, a lot of them border areas. 12 ICE heads of offices were removed from their positions yesterday due to lack of progress. Okay. Which means that Donald Trump is not happy about the less amount or the small amounts of immigration enforcement going on in those areas by those departments. New people are being brought in, and they're being reorganized under the guise of get these people out of here. So we're getting ready to increase the pressure on these people. What Jeff just was showing you from Portland and Illinois, I believe, is getting ready to amplify. And I just want you guys to be prepared for it. You really do need to be prepared for it, because they're all making threats. If you go to TikTok, they are insane what they're saying. They're basically saying, we're going to take every ounce of food out of the grocery store, and we're going to take stuff out of your cars, and we might even be breaking into your house to take your food. Okay, that is communism, and that is where we start to get into this real sticky spot about, whose land is whose land. This land is my land, this land is your land. Well, you ain't coming on my land without permission. Okay, yeah. That's America, and you have the right to defend yourself, and you have the right to defend your property. And all of these people right now are getting ready to get a cold, hard dose. Cardi B said this morning that everybody that she knows is going to be out there hunting raccoon. That's what she said. She literally said that to her audience this morning. Okay, wow. So that's the reality that we're all in. And I sent you a video, Jeff.
I got it queued up.
Time for that. Okay, it's only a couple minutes, but I think it's really good, even if we go over just a minute.
I don't want to sound like I'm overthinking it, because I know a lot of y'all can't keep up, but this SNAP benefit situation clearly shows y'all could not survive a world built off natural selection. If the government really stood back, if they just let everything go and let the world be who they want to be without them, y'all would not survive. Let's say they just only protected us from invasion of other countries, but you have to do everything else yourself. Y'all would not survive the natural selection. You couldn't get your own food. You couldn't keep your own crib. You couldn't educate your own kids. Y'all would literally not survive a world of natural selection. Y'all response to the SNAP benefits is don't celebrate the holiday. Keep your money. Everyone's going to be affected because food prices going to go up. Yeah, but this is natural selection. This is how the world moves. Without the government, right? What y'all going to do when all those wolves start attacking the sheeps? You either going to turn into a wolf yourself, you going to follow behind them like a fox, or you going to be slaughtered. That's how natural selection works. And there's one issue with just benefits. It's showing y'all that y'all are biting the hand that feeds you. A lot of y'all are against the government. You constantly protesting. You constantly talking about them. But then you turn to the same internet where you're bashing them and you're trying to hold them accountable to continue to feed you and put food on your table. They don't have to do that. This is them showing you we don't have to do a lot of the things we do. But they understand the benefits of who they are. And a lot of people take it for granted. You can't be biting the hand that feeds you and then turning around and talking shit about the person who that hand belonged to. It don't make any sense. Y'all have to pick a new battle. Pick a new fight.
Yeah, interesting. And when he was talking about, people are not going to be able to afford it, it's the people that are not having the SNAP benefits. And wow, Shady. Yeah.
And so just to wrap this up, this is the numbers. These are the numbers. Illegal aliens issued Social Security numbers by the Biden-Harris administration. 2021, 270,000. 2022, 600,000. 2023, 964,000. Social Security numbers issued by the Biden administration. Fake numbers to illegal aliens. In 2024, 2.1 million in 2024 alone. Social Security numbers by the Biden administration were given to illegals. That's 2 to 3. That's almost 4 million people right there. Now there's 1.4 million illegals on Medicaid, and it is confirmed that 60% of that, whatever number I just read, million people are on SNAP benefits and illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare for a little bit of a rocky road ahead, guys.
59% of illegal aliens receive SNAP.
That's insane. 59%. Yes, that came out yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they told us that they didn't vote and that they weren't receiving benefits. The Democrats still think that illegal people don't vote. You're not going to get a Social Security number without a voter registration.
Yeah.
It comes stock.
So we'll get you a commercial driver's license.
And we'll get you one of those too. And then you can just drive wherever you want.
Wow.
With an 80,000-pound vehicle.
Mm. Did you see yesterday on Fox, there's some Asian guy, and they're like, what sign is this? Oh, two people walking.
Oh, dear God, no.
He didn't even, the guy couldn't even tell him what the road signs meant.
I did not see that.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We're going to get out with the sound of social justice, and I love the sound of reeing in the morning. I love this. And
reeing is the best part.
Oh, the reeing, guys. You're calling us centrists, right? That are conservative, Republican, MAGA, Nazis, so far from the truth. You should look in the mirror because you are actually communist and socialist. Oh, and by the way, Mandami might be having some issues with his citizenship. Stay tuned for that. You got a week, New York.
Wouldn't that be epic if he won the election and Trump immediately deported him?
See you, Mayor.
Goodbye.
All right, here we go. Love you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Today is, what is it? Wednesday, Trump Day?
Thursday. Woof. Do it.
Wow. Aloha, guys. See ya. Oh, there we go. We do it live.
Lord of dankness, my old friend. Normies oppressing us again. Watching commies flee on live streaming, farming keks with all this dank meaning. Fight the brainwashing that was planted while in Yale. Fucking white male, fighting for social justice. In Linda's dreams I'd be a cuck, but I've no time for peaceful trucks, swimming through their sea of Marxist tears, allied with my fellow red-pilled peers. When my rage was stoked by the blur of an airborne wreck, baseman with stick, resist the cult of commies. And in the Berkeley streets I saw 1,000 retards made me more. People shouting Nazi half-centrists, pissed off hysterical mass Bolshevists. People crying racist, that shit we never said. And then they fled, disturbed by sense and logic. Privilege, oh you spoiled brat. Your bourgeois cult needs chemostat. Your gender studies teachers mislead you. Nurture it's you who claim we're Hitler's fans. It's time to face the mirror. Righteous people rose and that verdict God that they decreed. Kekistani so merry gay, proudly sing their anthem, shiny lane. And the Poles said that demon Hillary wouldn't ever have to take her loss. Can't stop the Trump, so much for social justice.
Boom. www.mg.show.
That happens a lot.
Boom.